Welcome. My name is Beverly Bartholomew, and this is my course tour of OST149 Medical Legal Issues, which I revised this semester for EPIC 110 Master Certification. In this presentation, I want to cover, first of all, course navigation. The course structure highlights within course navigation, announcements, getting started, the faculty information, the content areas of lessons, assignments, and the collaboration discussion board, as well as about the use of Connect LMS in the course, which is the LMS by the publisher McGraw-Hill. The second part of the presentation is about the course improvements to exceed EPIC standards for master certification. I wanted to incorporate the use of the tool VidGrid this semester. I have used that some in the summer as well as this fall, but for the spring semester and for improving and making my course exceptional, I wanted to begin to use that tool not only for instructor-student engagement, but also student-to-student engagement. So we'll talk about that. I've done that in a couple different ways. Another goal I had was to improve the syllabus and course policies quiz to make sure that there was absolute consistency in the course content from lesson to lesson. I'm going to talk about the publisher content, McGraw-Hill Connect, integrated links in Blackboard. Another thing that I added this year to increase, I think, instructor and student engagement and also to focus on continuous improvement was to incorporate weekly feedback surveys. And finally, to add in more sample responses for the writing assignments that the students have, primarily in discussion boards. So first of all, let's go back to the course structure highlights. If we start with announcements, the very first thing I did was to open up with a welcome video where the students can see me face-to-face, virtually, and also learn about the course in general, how it is set up, a little bit about the course itself. You can see that I have put in the link, plain text link, to the VidGrid video as well as the transcript. There is also a written welcome with a link to getting started. And when the students click on that link, the first thing they see is the course syllabus as well as a schedule of the assignments. Then there's a course orientation that tells them what they can look at in each of the course menu items. I also wanted to be sure and explain about the use of Connect with McGraw-Hill, because they will be using that for most of their assignments. Some of the students will already be familiar with Connect because they may have used it in a previous class, but others will be new this semester, and this will be a new tool for them. So I wanted to explain as much detail as I could. They're also, one of the first assignments they'll do is a Connect orientation, and in that they will be introduced to Connect, be able to practice navigating, and this is a graded assignment, so they're required to do it and to make sure that they are comfortable with what Connect contains and how it works. Their course description is here, a picture of the front of the textbook as well as information about the textbook. There is again how the course works, what they can expect from week to week. I spell out the types of assignments, where they're located, what we'll be doing each week, how much time they should plan to spend in the course. And then for new students especially, some tips here on time management so that they can keep up with the work. I spell out the how assignments are graded, the weight that they carry in the class, the grading and late work policies that we have in place, the academic integrity policy, which talks about plagiarism and how to withdraw or be withdrawn, about attendance. It actually talks about attendance. And also here, this is one of several places that the students have a link to create their Connect account because they buy an access code with their textbook. And it does tell them on the access code how to set up their account, but just in case they don't look at that, then there's a link here and it talks about how they can access that. Okay, if we go over to faculty information, you can see that I have, well, part of it anyway, you can see that I have a photo of myself, all my information, my email, phone number, the office, campus office address, and my office hours are listed. There is a link to the departmental website as well. I give them a list of my credentials, both academic as well as professional credentials that I have, the best way to contact me, what my policy is on replying to students as they contact me, and then a little bit of personal information to make me seem more like a human being. So then going into the lessons and assignments area, the content area of the course, I wanted to again open up with a VidGrid video, giving them a little bit of, I called it what to expect each week, but it's basically a tour, a course tour of where things are located, what the weekly folders look like, and what in the video I open up a couple of the folders and show them what's contained inside. Plain text link here as well as transcript link. And then we come down to the weeks. And one of the things that I have done again is and I made sure this time especially to be especially careful that all the weekly folders are consistent. So the students will see the same thing as they look at each folder. Generally the folders are hidden. You can see them all here, but they're not all available in the actual course. I just left them open here, but generally they're available to students 2 weeks prior to the deadline day. And so the very first one, week one, a lot of students don't have their textbook, and so I stick with the course orientation for the students as well as having them do their introductions. So in week one, they're reminded about the course entry quiz. They won't be able to get to any assignments until they've done that. I have a VidGrid video, a syllabus tour here. I actually walk them through the syllabus, and I have embedded 3 questions. They get a completion grade on this, and as they watch this little VidGrid video, then they will answer the 3 questions, and that shows that they have actually looked at the syllabus. Then there's also a more extensive course syllabus and policies quiz, and this contains questions about the course, policies, the syllabus itself, as well as about plagiarism, academic integrity. I have made an assignment in VidGrid for the students to introduce themselves. One of the goals that I had was to create more effective student-to-student engagement, and the way I've chosen to do that is to use VidGrid Student Record in a couple of assignments. So the first one, the very first week, they'll do an introduction, and they will click on the link, and I've given them some prompts as to what things I would like them to answer, and then they can respond to each other as much as they would like to. I've given them a link here as well as the plain text link. And so that's there, and that's their first VidGrid assignment. If we go back to, I'll show you another week that is beyond the first week. This is when we actually get started in the content of the course. And you can see here I've got another link to how to get started in Connect. That's also contained in course resources, so it's prominent in many different places. Here's their summary of assignments. This appears in each weekly folder. There's at the very top, there's a summary of assignments with the due date, directs them highlighted in yellow. These are your graded assignments for each week. The very first week is different because they have a Connect orientation. I made a note here to the reviewer that wouldn't appear in the course, obviously, but just each Connect assignment has an individual link that is integrated within Blackboard, and that's something that I feel is a real strong point about using Connect. They have a chapter assignment and a chapter test. This is then followed by the learning objectives for each chapter. This is consistent each and every week. The reading assignment, this is every week, chapter 1, a summary of the chapter, and then some tips on how they can get the most out of studying the chapter. Something else that I wanted to do was to incorporate more feedback from the students for continuous improvement, and also to foster instructor-student engagement, and they feel like they're continually, every week, they have an opportunity to tell me what's working and what's not working. So I have added a 2-question, 1-minute survey in each weekly folder where the students, and I get a summary of these, and it's, I've already used that this fall, and it's been very helpful. I do want to show you what the links to Connect look like. So this is a link to the SmartBook textbook, which is an e-textbook that allows the students to also answer questions as they read, and it helps to assess how much they are grasping from the reading, and it is a graded assignment. That is part of every chapter. Here's a link to the review. This is from another course. This is not from this course. So this is a live course, and I just wanted you to be able to see what the links look like. In the Epic 110 course, I can't put the links there. So because it's I can only do that in a live course. So chapter review, there'll be a link that looks this way. It tells them the due date, what category it's in, and then their test or quiz, and what they'll do each week is when they're ready to do their assignments, they click and it takes them seamlessly over to Connect where they can do their assignment. The review they can do, the chapter test. Students can go directly into Connect, but we strongly discourage that, and we do everything we can to keep them from doing that. So for instance, I don't have a link in my course for the students to click on Connect. They have to go through Blackboard, which I think is better, because I find that if they don't do that, sometimes they overlook assignments that might not be in Connect, and I want to make sure they're always touching base in here. So this is what a typical week looks like in the course. There is one other VidGrid assignment that is in week 4. And again, we have the same thing in terms of structure for the students, the objectives, the reading assignment, and then here is a VidGrid assignment. And in this one, another thing I wanted to do was to give a sample response. So they would see, this is from a student who wrote something last year, just to give them a sample of what I'm looking for in a response. And then again, the survey. If we come over to Collaboration Discussion Board, the first thing I've done here is in all my courses, I have a student-to-student coffee house or forum and explain to them that they can come here to interact with each other, fostering student-to-student interaction. I rarely have students participate in this, but every once in a while. I do keep a check on it as an instructor. You can see the discussion boards here, links, and the spelling out of it, exactly what's expected. There is an instruction and a sample of what I would consider to be a substantive response. Otherwise, you get things like I agree, I disagree, I like your response, I like your posting. This particular assignment contains videos. It's a video assignment, so I'm trying to give some variety. They have a choice between videos to watch and then to write about. I tried to put a screenshot of the rubric. It's a lot smaller than I thought it would be, and I don't really know what to do with that. I saw that another instructor had done that, and I liked it, but I couldn't quite figure out how to make that fit. So I'd be open to feedback on that, or how to make it large enough that they can actually see it. Here's another type of assignment. This one contains a video as well. And then there's a research assignment. And in this one, I also gave a sample summary. This is what another student wrote. They gave a link to their article. This is what I'm expecting to see. And then in terms of response to each other, this is a sample of a response that would be acceptable and earn a good grade. And again, a copy of the rubric. Some of the rubrics were so large I couldn't actually take a screenshot that I thought was effective, so I didn't include that, but all of the discussion boards have their own rubric. I believe that we have covered everything here as I look back over. So I thank you for your time and attention, and I enjoyed working on it. I feel like the course is a lot stronger now in terms of variety, in terms of interaction and student-to-student engagement, as well as instructor-student engagement. And I look forward to receiving your feedback. Thank you.